Good morning. My name is Shane Bond, and today we'll be looking at a process safety management event that occurred at the Williams Geismer Olefins plant in Geismer, Louisiana. The incident occurred on June 13th of 2013. It was a chemical explosion that occurred at the facility and resulted in 2 fatalities and 167 people being injured. Incident overview. Prior to beginning operations that morning, a general meeting for personnel was called to order, and it was brought to light that a quench tank water flowing through the propylene fractionator reboiler, which is reboiler A, had dropped gradually over the past few days. And the operations supervisor stated that he would check out the drop and fix the problem. He checked the plant manager and noted that the quench tank system and believed they had to switch reboilers until he had corrected the quench flow water flow. The operations supervisor tried to meet with the operations manager about switching the reboilers, but was unable to make contact with him. The chemical safety board determined that at 8:33, the operations supervisor opened the quench water valves to the offline reboiler, which is reboiler B, and moments later it exploded. And it was later determined that propane gas had entered the shell of reboiler B, and when it came into operations, the reboiler started heating up the gas and expanding in the shell of the reboiler until it exploded, sending shrapnel and a fireball, killing the operations supervisor and another nearby worker, and injuring 167 people in the process. The process safety management elements that were failed to be apprehended here or used was operating procedures, pre-startup review, and management of change. Those are the ones that's highlighted yellow. An explanation of what caused this incident. There was no operating procedure to combat the fouling in the quench tanks. That's where the flow had dropped in reboiler A over time, and they didn't have a procedure in place to combat this issue. The pre-startup review, it was found that the Chemical Safety Board found that they did not answer all of the questions on the pre-startup document that they was supposed to run through before starting operations that day. Management of change. When the plant changed the valves on the 2 reboilers in 2001, and what they did in 2001 is before 2001, the 2 reboilers worked together. And if you ever had a problem, you had to shut down operations completely. So what they decided to do in 2001 is separate the 2 reboilers and give them their own separate relief valves. But what they didn't realize that had happened was when they separated the reboilers, they installed a block-off valve that separated the reboilers from the pressure relief valve, which bleeds off the excess pressure and would eliminate the overpressure unwanted event that would occur. If they would have realized this, they could have taken the block-off plate away, a block-off valve out of the equation, and have it routed to the PSV, and could have avoided the whole situation. The lessons learned from this experience, from this accident, was that the need for process safety management and the need to assess and update them constantly. If the Geismer plant would have gone through the checklist like they were supposed to, assess the situation, and go through the process repeatedly every year, they would have known that after separating the 2 reboilers in 2001, that they was separated and blocked off from their pressure relief valves. It may have only taken 12 years for the accident to occur, but because of this because of this 12 years of not actually keeping up with records and performing audits and stuff, 2 men lost their life and 167 were injured, and millions of damages was caused from this incident. Thank you. That is all.